What's going on, guys? We're back with another YouTube video, and today we're talking about 5 Vancouver Canucks who are under the most pressure going into next season. Just 2 seasons ago, the Canucks made it back into the playoffs and were ultimately 1 game short of making the Western Conference Final. I think the Canucks are going back to the playoffs this year, and these 5 Canucks, in my opinion, are definitely going to be under the microscope. But before we get into it, if you aren't following me on Instagram and TikTok, I'll put the links in the bio. The NHL season starting in just about a month or so. The content is going to go crazy this year. Anyways, at number 5, I've got Brock Boeser, the lifelong Canuck who just signed a 7-year contract extension this offseason. I'm glad Brock chose to re-sign last minute because honestly, I don't think this team could afford losing another top forward. In my last video, I was talking about how clutch Brock Boeser is and how he always shows up when it matters the most. 2 seasons ago, Brock Boeser scored 40 goals for the first time in his career, with his previous career high coming back in 2017 with 29. Last season, the whole Canucks roster struggled. Boeser put up 50 points in 75 games, 25 goals, 25 assists. Obviously, this management believes Boeser can get back to his 40 goal per season ways. Obviously, believing he can be a consistent 70 to 80 point player on this Canucks offense. The one positive to point out about this re-signing is that Boeser can focus on his game from game 1 with zero stress about contract rumors, trade rumors. I think Boeser scores 30 to 35 goals this season, somewhere in that range, and I think we see him score maybe 40 apples. At number 4, I've got Thatcher Demko. It's funny to me because everybody knocks Demko for being injured all the time, and now he's washed, and those are the same people who will be glazing Demko halfway through the season when the Canucks are in a playoff spot. Everything's looking good. It's so frustrating to deal with as a legit Canucks fan. It's always with the negativity. Aren't we Canucks fans? Why are we on our goalie? I've said this so many times before, but why would Patrick Allvin and Jim Rutherford re-sign and extend Thatcher Demko at an $8.5 million cap hit for 3 more seasons if he wasn't healthy? If they didn't believe he was healthy, if they didn't believe he was going to get back to where he was before that knee injury, why would they commit to a goalie at that price while they already have Lankinen, while they had Seelovs kind of in the wings? Why would they re-sign Demko if he was cooked? It's just people don't think before they speak. That's all it is. I'm excited for Demko to get back to his previous self. He was a Vezina finalist 2 seasons ago. He missed majority of last season, only playing in 23 games, and he didn't play his first game until December against St. Louis. He's had a longer off season. He's healthy, and he's ready to claim that Vezina. Let's go, baby. At number 3, I've got head coach Adam Foote. Of course, Footy has pressure on him. Meet pressure with pressure. It's his first time being a head coach in the NHL, which is a decent leap from his previous role as the assistant coach. Foote's going to feel that pressure of trying to rebuild that momentum the Canucks had just 2 seasons ago and hopefully be a part of getting them back into the playoffs this year. I think Foote will obviously establish his own systems, bring a bit of his own coaching style while continuing a bit of what Rick Tocchet established for this team and their identity. Last season, the Canucks were ranked 23rd in goals per game, so Foote's going to need to find a way to get more productivity from his star forwards like Elias Pettersson, and as well as improving the power play. It just needs to be better this year. Another positive you can look at is Foote already has chemistry with these players and a feel for his roster, which is an advantage for him. He knows their strengths, he knows their weaknesses. I did mention in a previous video that if things go south and the Canucks don't make it back to the playoffs, maybe they'll consider promoting Manny Malhotra from Abbotsford. I was a little surprised when Manny didn't get a head coaching job after winning the Calder this year. I don't know how likely that is. That's just something I noticed, something that I thought of. Like I said, I'm fully confident the Canucks are going to get back into the playoffs. This is just something to think about. At number 2, I've got Evander Kane. I'm happy the Canucks traded for Evander Kane. I remember watching him when he was playing for the Vancouver Canucks when they won the Memorial Cup way back in the day. Acquiring Kane was one of the few moves that Allvin and Rutherford made this offseason. They acquired him before the draft for a top 100 pick. And like usual, most fans hate the move right off the rip. What's new? But I like this move for many reasons. He has 1 year left on his contract. He's a hometown kid. Middle 6 player with grit. Can play on the first line, can play on the second line, third line. Player that you love having on your team, but hate playing against him. In my eyes, I look at it as you're swapping Dakota Joshua from your lineup for Evander Kane. Kane's obviously going to feel that pressure right from game one. Like Rick Tocchet always says, meet pressure with pressure. You already know this dude's going to put up 30 this year, and we're definitely going to give him a max contract extension. It's a storybook ending for Kane, obviously. He mentioned at the Canucks press conference that the time off he had last season when rehabbing injuries and not playing until the playoffs kind of reset the clock for him. He got to heal up. He's going to be healthy and ready to go right from the start of the year. I expect Kane to get probably in the 50 to 60 point range. Depends where he spends most of his time in the lineup. At number 1, I've got Elias Pettersson. Surprise. I've talked a lot about Elias Pettersson lately, and all I'm going to say is it's obvious Petey's going to bounce back this year. Everything went wrong for Vancouver last season. We were 6 points out of a playoff spot with Petey having that of a season. He's gonna score somewhere between the 80 to 100 point range. I think a safe bet is point per game. This dude's coming back with a vengeance. He's tired of being dragged through the mud by these fans, by this media. Last season was right from the get-go for Petey. Shorter off season from their playoff push. He said he was dealing with a knee injury that was probably lingering in that playoff run. Now, of course, the JT Miller drama, Rick Tocchet drama, and by drama I just mean that Rick Tocchet and Pettersson were always in the headlines together after every game. Not really drama, but you get what I'm saying. Canucks play their best when they're doubted, when they're slept on. This guy's a married man now. He's gonna put up 80 to 100 points with ease. I think Adam Foote will let Petey go back to playing the game that got him to where he is. Petey 40-goal season would shut the haters up for good. That would just be sweet. Petey's used to the pressure now, you know, like Rick Tocchet said, meet pressure with pressure. I just hope we see a confident and healthy Elias Pettersson to start the year. Anyways, guys, if you've made it to this point of the video, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and until next time, peace out.